What's up, y'all? I want to talk about a game today. Resident Evil is one of very few horror game franchises from the 90s and 2000s that is still kicking to this day. I mean, even in this time where the video game genre of horror is mostly overrun by indie developers, Resident Evil still manages to find footing and stick out in the scene by executing at such a clean and brisk level where not a lot of horror games are at right now. It wasn't always like this though. The franchise still came from poor inventory systems, goofy plot lines, and tank controls that were still in the game since 2009 when Gears of War was already out. This franchise had 6 live action movie adaptations, survived all of them, and actually had one recently that was relevant to one of the games. Okay, so it's 2012. Dark Knight Rises and Chronicle is out, everyone thinks the world is gonna end, and Resident Evil drops its 6th main installment along with 2 spin-off games in the side franchise, and one thing is common in all of these games. I mean, they're not scary anymore, rather they're not intended to be. Getting to a point of making mechanics that actually allow the player to play the game without losing their mind, what Capcom sacrificed for competent controls with scares and themes of genuine horror. This franchise is now aware of Gears of War and decidedly takes the formula that Gears of War established and makes it into a Resident Evil game, which would be cover-based, zombie-themed third-person shooters. And I'll be real with you, going for this approach is extremely polarizing. And in between the radio static and live-action movies that Resident Evil had going on, there was another horror game franchise from the late 90s that was experiencing a very slow death after getting its chance of revival and relevance taken away. And that franchise was Silent Hill. Hey, remember PT? It was this game in 2014 that created a fully involved and masterful horror experience with minimal effort being shown off. A game that was a concept of a Silent Hill reboot being done by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro. You know, the same person behind Metal Gear Solid 2 and the guy who made Pan's Labyrinth. And with such a mind-bending, forward-thinking, fully engaged horror game like PT, Konami looked at this and said, yeah, that's fucking stupid, and we kind of don't like Kojima for using our money to make boundary pushing games. Get the fuck out. Silent Hills gets canned and the Silent Hill franchise gets banished to the pachinko realm where Pyramid Heads get posterized in Hot Topic t-shirts. Kojima gets fired for Konami, then they make Metal Gear Survive, and the biggest horror game to come after PT was Five Nights at Freddy's, a point-and-click horror game with a shit ton of jump scares. Now, I'm not saying that Weekend at Freddy's is bad, but with PT, we got a glimpse of what could have been next generation horror. If PT's technology were to be implemented into a Silent Hill reboot, it would have made for such a bold transformation. You know, it's the type of transformation that makes you interested in the franchise as a whole from there on. Same year as PT, Capcom and these guys with the names I'm not gonna butcher start development of a new survival horror game on a whole new engine centered around it. This game would take inspiration from the 1981 film Evil Dead, taking place in one location in a first-person perspective. And this game would also play in virtual reality. E3 2015, Capcom shows off this VR demo for Sony's Project Morpheus called Kitchen. This demo has the player in the perspective of one of the dudes trying to escape a kitchen and some girl comes up and kills both of you. A year later at E3, this is announced. Hell yeah, boy, we still kicking. The 7th main installment of Resident Evil was coming, and boy, did Capcom carry that hype to the release date of January 2017 because they went all out for the rollout of this game. We got a prologue demo soon after the reveal. It's called Beginning Hour, and it's the first hour or so of the game with the Kitchen VR game interlaced into the demo. One thing to note, this feels so different. Not only the obvious change to the first-person perspective, but the atmosphere is genuinely creepy and way different compared to the over-the-top standard that their last games had. The house that you are in is gross, and the found footage part just emphasizes how scary this house is with these characters interacting with it, masking their fear with their asshole personality. Then it's Blair Witch. This demo has different versions with extra rooms and different endings. This is one of the most complex demos I've ever researched. It's not even exactly canon to the storyline, it's just a different version of the game's opening for the sake of the demo's runtime. Without a doubt though, this demo is a great hook and brings in way more interest for the game and the direction it was heading towards. So it's 2017 and we're coming hot off the heels of the Assassin's Creed movie and Bye Bye Man, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard was released on PC, Xbox One, and PS4, with the entire game playable on PSVR. Now I'll be honest, you can play this game in VR, but it's a matter of how long you can play before you get motion sickness. I mean, in the first boss fight of the game, you're constantly rotating in a small ass arena. I tried playing this VR and I damn near puked, so it's up to you. Speaking of things that make me want to puke, Dude, this game is gross. Dovey, Louisiana is a swampland with old houses from the 19th century, and the Baker residence is covered in mold, human guts, and a shit ton of bugs. Like a fuck shit ton of bugs. Like, I don't know if I should get that herb from that box. There are bodies in sewage water, hives grow on furniture, you get your hand chopped off, cops get shoveled to death, immortality is real, and they refrigerate spaghetti noodles. This shit is twisted. Last year I played Resident Evil 4, and while one of the best games ever made, it's not exactly scary. Sure, environments are foggy and rustic, but the enemies exist just to get shot at. The puzzles are extremely simple. You can accidentally shoot the president's daughter. The regenerator part comes out of nowhere and never again, then you fight a big spider dude. In the many beats this game has, Resident Evil 4 feels more like an arcade shooting gallery than a survival horror game. Of course, most elements in 7 are going to be missing from 4 because this game came out on the GameCube, yet I think about the remaster of the first Resi that came out a couple of years prior to 4. It was a contained experience that had an emphasis on atmosphere and insane over-the-top enemies. It wasn't fond of action because it opted in for detailed environments to further drive the terror the game had. Zombies eat dog food, by the way. So with Resident Evil 7, they no longer have to sacrifice gameplay for good graphics or interesting and terrifying elements for engaging gameplay. With the RE engine, they can easily have both. Compared to the storylines that Resident Evil were usually going with, the storyline goes from a government agent defusing a world-ending situation to a complete outsider encountering a world-ending situation. In the game's timeline, it's 2017 and Ethan Winters is looking for his girlfriend Mia. She's been missing for 3 years and Ethan found a lead on where she could be. The opening is straight up survival horror with a Resi twist. This house has common problem-solving tropes similar to previous titles, but you only have your wits to defend yourself with.
Fuck!
You watch the tape that was from the demo to discover there was a secret room in the house. You find bolt cutters, then your girlfriend, and you're kind of questioning if this is the same person that you were with 3 years ago. Turns out she's not. Hand goes bye-bye, then you shoot your chainsaw carrying girlfriend in the face. Then you're taken under wing by one of the Bakers so you can be part of their family. And what a family to be a part of, man. You got Jack, who eats guts and bullets for dinner. Marguerite, who loves bugs so much she grew a hive on her body. Lucas, who is a total dickhead, throws shit at your face while you're strapped to a chair, places bombs everywhere, and makes a literal torture chamber disguised as an escape room.
Fuck me. God damn it. Fuck.
Then you got Grandma, who just stares at you from the weirdest spots in the house.
Oh, see, this is the shit that I'm fucking talking about. Why are you here?
Resi 7 is a healthy balance of action puzzles and survival horror. None of the elements within this game overshadow each other because the location it's set in allows each of those elements to breathe and live in harmony. It's a gross harmony though. Level design takes center stage in 7, with the Baker's residence containing so many different houses and so many different rooms. With this in mind, it still feels small and condensed. There is no chunk of fat here. I mean, in regards of all the next-gen settings Resi has been in so far, the Baker's has been the most distinct and profound.
Oh, fuck.
You get an Apple Watch from the phone lady that talked to you in the opening, a G17 from that dead cop to then watch Jack eat it for a snack. Shotgun puzzle to get the shotgun from the shotgun room, chainsaw for the Jack puzzle, flamethrower from the garbage, talk about a dumpster fire, and of course, the grenade launcher from the two-headed crow room in the drawing room that is standard to every house built in the 1800s. You can fix broken weapons with repair kits hidden around the house so you could possibly clap niggas faster. You can get a Magnum, which was something I wasn't able to get because I'm fucking dumb. Light puzzle work similar to previous titles has been implemented to emphasize the exploration and discovery of the many rooms and houses that the Baker residence contains. Dog heads are scattered around the main house that let you go outside. You read notes to find necessary items to progress the game. Weird looking keys unlock weird looking doors. Placing a statuette against the light that forms a silhouette against a painting which unlocks a hidden passage that even has Ethan confused.
Who builds this shit?
Everything is attached to each other, which makes backtracking and exploration less of a headache and more of a reward-based system. Photos around the house reveal items and other locations, and with this new item in the game, Psychostimulants, you take these and it reveals where items are on the map for a limited amount of time, and there are a shit ton of items to discover. With that in mind, it can get tedious when it comes to item preparation and inventory. You see, Resi 7 is going back to Resi 1, where every item you grab, essential or not, is a physical item in your one tab of inventory. It's not as bad as the first game, but even Resi 4 knew that carrying both key items and regular items kind of sucks, so they broke those type of items into separate tabs. And even when your inventory does get another row, it still gets cluttered extremely fast, especially with crafting involved. Most items you collect in this game, mostly in regards to healing, you can't use by itself. Chem fluid is the ultimate gatekeeper. You need this item to make literally anything. You can no longer combine 2 or more herbs, and even herbs by themselves barely heal you. Solid fuel and strong chem fluid, 2 of the rarest items to find in game, makes flame rounds for your grenade launcher, which is another rare item to find in game. Of course I can't use these items by itself, so I have to wait until I get something to combine it, but by the time that happens, I'm surprisingly stacked on handgun ammo, so I can't even pick up the fucking item. Luckily, item boxes and save rooms are back, swapping that out for a merchant in previous games, but if you pick up these coins, you can buy those to buy upgrades and the Magnum that I missed out on. This stuff is great for protection from Jack, Man of Steel, Marguerite the Bug Lady, and these new dudes called the Molded, who have individually have separate names and were real people before they transformed.
Come out. Clancy. Clancy, you're stuck in the wall. Clancy, peek your head out in the state. It's fine.
They spill out blood and pus as you shoot them, and I'm now realizing I'm still killing innocent people. At least I'm putting them out of their misery.
What did the shotgun say to the fucking molded man? Fuck you, you piece of shit.
Marguerite's bugs are so fun, and it makes me so happy about the concept of insects dying. Even doctors can't rip off the hide from Marguerite's body. It's so gross looking, and watching it fall off after shooting it just makes it way worse. Look at her flail when she's staggered. Like, put that shit away. Oh my god.
Stay dead, okay?
I was looking for my girlfriend, you know, and now I'm taking a little man in an arm so the phone lady can make a serum. There's also a child watching me. Lucas took a bit of my soul away going through his testing area, and he took all of my ammo too because I simply just can't rescue my girlfriend. Remember the time he scattered around tripwires around the testing area that triggered bombs, or when he lodged bombs in crates and anything that was electronic? Fucking asshole.
Okay, so if I fuck that up, that's gonna fucking swing and kill me.
I watched your torture chamber tape, dummy. I'm breaking the puzzle, you piece of shit.
Mother!
Haha.
You're supposed to die!
Oh shit.
Give it the phone lady the serum. Jack is back, baby. You know, he never really died when his top half exploded. He's probably mad from all that kicking I did. I'm just gonna hit you with one of these. I don't know. I mean, my girlfriend chopped my fucking hand off, and Zoe did make the serum, so.
You'll be alright, Mia. You'll be alright.
Zoe? Zoe! What the fuck?
This game sucks. Plot. There's story in this game. In 2014, Mia was actually babysitting a child bioweapon on a big-ass boat that was going through Louisiana for some reason. This child, Evelyn, was tired of being treated like a bioweapon and wanted a family. She crashes the boat, gets Mia, finds the Baker residence, and forms a family of her own. And they all get infected with the mold in different ways. Most common way of infection is turning into a thing of walking mold, which are the creatures that are getting their heads shot at by me. This boat part in some instances is just a trudge. I mean, you're Mia now and all your inventory is snatched, so you have to start from the beginning of your setup with the post-game enemies like the big bloated guys and the four-legged freaks. Too bad for them though, they gave me a fucking remote bomb. Plus a submachine gun. Otherwise, this part is slow and a stark detour. For how airtight the Baker homes were with thoughtful and interlaced level design where every place is damn near connected to each other, this boat part is necessary for story and the sake of questions being answered, but it breaks the game in half in such a clear way where the pacing is so weird and it's like, oh, we're still going and Jack is telling me that he wouldn't hurt anyone. Like, oh, okay, bro. So Mia digs Ethan out of mold, gets possessed by Evelyn, and Ethan is forced to kill Mia. Fuck. Ethan hops off the boat to go into a mine that somehow leads back to the house that was at the opening. I cannot make this up even if I wanted to. This mine doesn't even have anything else going for it apart from having an exposition room and a passageway back into the house. I am blown away. Turns out Grandma was Evelyn this entire time because she was aging, because she's a weird bioweapon, and Ethan finally injects Evelyn the serum to destroy her, only for her to turn into a big fucking creature so he can kill her with Albert Wesker's gun for some reason. Chris Redfield comes in, says hi. We hop in the helicopter with no Mia because I chose to cure Zoe like a fucking dumbass, and roll credits, Resident Evil 7. I've been in Resi 7 before I played it for this video, and I've seen playthroughs of it when it first came out. I even tried streaming it, and I have to say, it holds up even 5 years later.
No, it's great. I'm being mocked.
The Baker's residence is absolutely a great experience, and with such pinpoint execution that allows every element of a typical Resident Evil game to stand out. You got the scares, you got the puzzles, you got the gross out stuff, you got the headshots. The M21 is one of the best weapons to use. This game gave the franchise a second win for the future and is consistently delivering on the standard that Resident Evil 7 established. The Resi 2 remake is fucking amazing, and it's impressive that this came out 2 years after 7. Village goes off on so many beats, yet it's just pure fun. Resident Evil 7 is the turning point for the franchise. Not only did it make Resi relevant again, but 7 made Resi relevant for me. I fucking love these games, dude. Play Resident Evil 7, and I'll see you when I see you.